Just more dead ends. Garton mutters sullenly to himself as he looks over the reports strewn across the desk he's commandeered from a member of Torch's so-called town council. His head throbs in the same place it always hurts, beneath the thick layer of scars that define the right side of his face. Sazaduk, where are you? What happened to you? Gargoyle was strong, smart. Garton wouldn't have trusted him to manage a place as problematic as Torch alone if he wasn't. Now, he was gone. As the days without contact have turned into weeks, it has become more and more obvious that something nefarious has happened. He plans to find out what, and more importantly, who is behind it, if he has to tear this entire god's-forsaken town down into its base components to do it. Even if it's a waste of his time, even if his real work sits neglected in Starfall, slowly falling apart. He picks up Sazaduk's final, partially written report about some young vagrant named Vulpin, knowing he won't see anything new, but not knowing what else to do, when a bell starts going off next to his ear. At the same time, his aide jumps from the chair he'd been dozing off in. "Captain, the alarm!" "I hear it. Get to the side of the door. It's probably just that dwarf ignoring my orders again. But if not..." He'd been ambushed when he thought he was safe in his own domain before, and he's not going to let that happen again. Garton tucks a hand into a pouch at his waist. He knows its contents by feel, and watches Fullus, now positioned where he should be hidden from any intruders, preparing a spell. Several seconds pass, and he hears footfalls, multiple heavy sets approaching. Door opens, and 3 men step through. 2 are Kelids, covered in hides and bones and ridiculous tattoos. They look to be his age at least, maybe older, but are still in impressive physical shape. The cloaked figure between them is smaller, but only by comparison. "Do you 3 have an appointment?"
That depends. Are you Captain Garton?
"I am. And you are?" The man sits down in one of the seats facing the desk. His companions or bodyguards stay standing, but Garton notices when one of them perfectly positions himself between the cloaked man and Fullus. So much for the element of surprise, he thinks.
You are going to take my companions and I here to Starfall, Captain. And you're going to do so now.
Garton leans back, surprised, not just at the audacity of what this man is saying, but at the authority he says it with, then catches himself and lets out a small laugh. "And why, exactly, am I going to do that? Why would I abandon my post here and return all the way to Starfall at your command?" The man reaches under his cloak and Garton tenses, but what he pulls out isn't a weapon. It's an old, ancient piece of yellowed ivory carved into a symbol of Gorum, the mountain surprisingly detailed and realistic. As the man places the symbol on the desk, Garton sees that his entire right arm appears to be coated in skin-tight bandings of adamantine, all the way to his wrist, where it meets and almost seems to fuse with a gauntlet that he recognizes. This man is a magus, he realizes, and something else as well.
What you see there in front of you is the symbol of authority, my symbol of authority, of Clan Mountain Fist. I'm showing it to you so as to invoke the right of an audience with the Black Sovereign, Kevath Kul, Chief of Chiefs of Numeria.
Clan Mountain Fist doesn't exist. As crude as the laws of your people are, it is part of my duty to know them. Mountain Fist was one of the many clans dissolved upon the Black Sovereign's ascension for the crime of rebellion against his authority. That symbol gives you no power to demand anything of me, let alone of him. You have nothing to offer. One of the men standing takes a step forward, clenching his fists. A blackness begins to surround the one on the right, but the cloaked man raises his own strange hand, and he steps back, breathing hard.
You're wrong on 2 points. First, Clan Mountain Fist was never disbanded. We have continued to fight and to challenge his claim to the throne for the last 25 years. No clan heads have surrendered or renounced our efforts, as happened with the other rebels. So, under the laws of Numeria, we do have the power to demand an audience, even if for no other reason than to officially surrender. And second,
the man reaches up and pulls back the hood on his cloak. The sight makes Garton's heart leap. This face is almost a mirror of his own, covered with the same old, faded but horrific scarring and a milky eye on the right side.
My name is Vargas Kahl, Chief of Clan Mountain Fist. Before holding that title, I was Vargas Kahl, commander of the 2nd Irregular Operations Division of the Numerian Coalition, a rank I kept out of respect of the man who gave it to me, even after he betrayed us and everything we stood for to side with our enemies. Even after I was given a command that would have let me call myself a general, or even allowed me to challenge him for the title of Black Sovereign. But even before that, I was simply Vargas, the war chief of Clan Mountain Fist. The first war chief to acknowledge that man and his power and his ambition, and one of the first to stand against him when that ambition proved to be detrimental to our people and our way of life. Though I do have something to offer the Black Sovereign. I am here to offer Kavathkul my head, but only if he claims it himself, in person.
Garton simply stares at the man before him, his mouth slightly ajar. Vargas Kahl, the man who broke the Sunderhorn, the man who more than once routed Gearsmen almost casually with armies of half-trained children, the man whose plan for sieging Starfall was supposedly dangerous enough to warrant the negotiations with those barbarians in the first place, the man who took half of Rassik's troops down with him in what was supposed to be a foolproof ambush, the man who, apparently, survived. A thought hits the captain hard in the chest. That damn witch! Did she let this one live on purpose? It almost didn't matter. He'd lost a gargoyle, a merchant, and a few other functionaries here and there, but he'd found something infinitely more valuable. A wonderful distraction. A reason to leave this backwater village to one of his functionaries. And get back to the real work. I have heard of you, yes. And your claim of your clan never officially surrendering may indeed hold water. Either way, as much as I hate to say it with how much I still need to do here in Torch, you've convinced me. Fullus? His aide steps forward. The man, the ghost, stands and flips his hood back up. His 2 companions do the same. Fullus extends his arms, and 2 silent Khalids each take one. Garton takes the left hand of the man who tried to attack him in his right, then holds out his left for Vargas. The scarred Khalid smiles under his cloak and grabs it with his strange metal-clad hand. The 5 of them vanish from the office with a faint pop. This is Pot Against the Machine.
Pot Against the Machine. Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pot Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play that sends errant acid splashes back to their acid families. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
Aw, we're kind. What a kind group.
They're just little acid babies.
You're just a little
It's a
acid
real
guy.
coming of acid story.
Oh. Hi.
Hello.
Bildung's acid, you might say.
I might.
Might. Last week on the program, the party was locked in combat with the Fossil Golem and the Yathelgad. Well, only briefly the Fossil Golem, really, because it got crunched by a chainsaw pretty much right out of the gate at the beginning of the episode. And then it became a battle of attrition between the party and the horrible space monster, which got trapped in an acid fog but was pulling on Brixby's diseases and confusing people. Emotions were getting calmed. Everybody was slapping one another. There was a lot of missing, a lot of images getting popped. But eventually, the creature was worn down to the point where it disappeared. It popped out of existence and ran away. And then everybody tried to chase it, but they couldn't find it. It was gone. So the angry party that didn't get to kill the horrible boss went back into the room that's only accessible via teleportation, where they found the compact AI core that had been wired into the weird Dominion machine. They figured out what it is. They looked at it. They pulled out all the different little tentacle bits from the thing, which seemed to make the face inside happier. But before they could address said face or anything, she turned off. She winked out of existence. The sheet went blank. And that's where we are now.
I thought you were going to say, I went to bed.
I did go to bed after that. Totally in real life, too. It wasn't 5 minutes ago.
Brixby, like someone's parent, not understanding that everything isn't a touch screen. It's just going to, hello, a tapper, a light tapper, a scroll, expressive scroll.
The face pops back on while Brixby's messing with it, and she's there again, and she seems to, like, kind of see Brixby, and she's like, and then she disappears again, and she comes back, and she's kind of like sputtering and jittering, like she's all messed up.
Should we try to plug her into the body we found? Do we think that would do anything?
Which body?
Didn't we take her body from Zoud?
Did we?
Yeah, I thought...
Is it like, is it in the bag?
Yeah, you have...
I think it's in the bag.
You have the corpse
Yeah.
of Cassandra Lee without the top of her head, but androids don't have ports.
Yeah.
You just jam it in
You
there.
can't just like put it on a stick and just jam it in there?
Yeah.
Is this like a greater make whole situation, or a binocs question?
Yeah,
Yeah, should we take her to Binox?
possibly.
Does this
I
mean we're
mean-
not going to kill that thing?
Probably not right now. I mean, we were close, we had to have been. But we searched this entire rotting place.
It has no one else left to help it, so once we heal up and maybe see if we can do anything with this strange card lady, we can always try to come back and see if it's here again.
And Kira sort of nods and then looks at Tarazi and is like, is that okay with you?
As much as I would very much like to have killed it today, I don't want to just wait and see if it comes back.
Okay. Well, if Tarazi says it's okay, then we should go figure out... And she just gestures there and says, I don't have knowledge engineering, so
I would almost recommend, as much as I want to get to the bottom of this mystery right now, I think we should rest. I only have one teleport left. And as we've learned, that's not a given that we're going to land immediately in safety. So maybe we could, tuck in and get at it in the morning.
Okay.
Can we take Levi with us if we teleport? Because we want to give him a burial, right? We don't
Yeah.
want to just leave him in here.
I'm
Okay.
99%
I couldn't remember
sure.
if we
Let me
could take him
double-check.
when he's not alive. Because I thought there was something weird about that.
Oh, about his size.
before.
It's about his size, and that he could normally
Yeah.
be
He's
put into...
an object at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he went back to his object. Okay, yeah.
No, not
Oh,
like
yeah, then he's good.
not like I cast Carry Companion on him, but he's not a living creature for the purposes of teleport.
That makes sense.
Does that mean we
Objects that are
can
held.
or can't take him?
We can.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, because I couldn't remember how we resolved that before, but that was what it was. It was that he was an object, so we were able to teleport him that way, because he didn't count as a living thing anymore.
Yeah. There is a lot of unpacking of that to do. So, to Peters. Yes?
Yes,
Was
please.
there somewhere else people wanted to go? Okay, yeah. I assume we really didn't want to go back to the small, grave yard that we've started building.
No, let's go to Peters, and as much as this land changed him, it seems somewhat fitting that he help grow something good.
Yeah. We need to truly well inform him that his torturer is fully dead. All right, and Brixie rolls a 31 on his D100, which is great. Low is good. We must look terrible. Like, I just could only imagine when we DD'd out for that second roving around the place to try to find them, we were already so beat up. Like, we must have all been, like, hobbling and kind of holding each other. So I can't imagine we look much better to Pater now, even with the, like, damage that Alowin's been able to heal for us.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're all fairly, like, healthy, but we just must be exhausted.
And emotionally
Like,
ragged with loss. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you pop out to Pater's, given all the searching every nook and cranny of the hive that you did twice today, it's probably a little bit later in the day. So maybe he's got a fire going. And he's just kind of sitting down. But of course, he'll pop up when you all appear and say, it's been quite a while. I was starting to wonder if this place had overtaken you.
it tried, and we're not all here, but it's good to see you, and it's good to be here.
Pater, can we Tarazi lost. I did something bad, and now Levi is gone. Can we leave him here?
Levi is the big goopy fella?
Uh-huh.
Oh, of course. You can leave him wherever you want. Mi casa es su casa. He sort of.
And Kira looks again at Tarazi and is like, is this place good?
Yes. No, it's a terrible, awful place, but
It's just the worst place. But
not your grove. Your grove is great. Really, Numeria sucks. And not the cool way. Yeah, we can bury him here.
This is the most beautiful place in the Scar. This land isn't scarred. This land is healed.
it's on its way, anyways.
Well, by comparison, sure, the produce may be a little weird, but what you've done here, you truly planted the seeds to allow us to do what we just did. She's dead.
Well, who's that now? Another one of your friends?
And he looks away, just kind of standing beside him. They're both sort of maybe looking at Garden, the butcher, the one who took.
And he sort of cocks his head, and he's like squinting at Brixby, like the words don't really make sense to him almost.
And that's fine. I prefer this is how you remember it, but, yeah. Just thank you. What I said before, we wouldn't be able to do this without you. We wouldn't have lived through this scar without you.
Have you, finished your business here then?
For the most part, sort of looks around. It's a little unclear. We don't know, but we may have found what we were looking for. Provided that's all we need, we may leave.
The fabled Orange Julius?
Delicious it was, my friend. Not a bit strange.
I hear it's a very complicated computer, very difficult computer.
Yeah, not really used to anyone referring to things in a language that most of us would also speak. Yes, it is.
That was
very
Sam making a very, very old Saturday
Yeah,
Night
I
Live
was
joke.
I'm like, wait a minute. Like,
I was like, he just secretly has like a plus 50 knowledge engineering.
yeah. Well, I didn't know if it was one of those, because Pater is like the character that has these weird things where every once in a while he's like super lucid and knows stuff, that I thought that was you doing one of those moments.
Yeah. He says, well, I hope that it serves you well as you've served this place so well. I don't know if it matters to you, but it looked like one of the butchers I saw flying off, headed to the east not too long ago. It flew right over here. A horrible spiky thing.
Just throws up a little bit. Let's go, gang. Oh, no. Oh, you don't happen to be a level 20 character that wants to accompany us, do you, Pater? We're out of GMPC. It generally doesn't end well for them, I gotta be real, so...
It's a rough job.
It is a really rough job. I think Brix looks back at the group. He's like, but kind of is doing that thing where like somebody suggests going to like a second bar after you've been at one for about an hour, and you're like, yeah, sure. But you're like shaking your head no and looking at the rest of your friends. We could go, but I don't want to stop anybody since we have a lead and we don't know where it will be tomorrow. But the thing I said about vengeance, friends are more important. I really don't want to risk losing any of you just to get some of that.
I mean, Kira again looks at Tarazi and is like, what do you think?
I'm tired. I know it'll get powers back if we ever run into it again, but there's no guarantee we can even track it. We don't know the extent of its magic.
Or what we could run into in the intervening could be another one of those horrific trees or a robot.
We also know that it's been severely weakened, and I think we came pretty close to killing it. If we're lucky, it may run into something else out there. We already know there are other things in this valley that are very hostile to that creature and its companions.
That does raise a question, and I don't even know if we possess the magics to do anything about it. But, like, someone just cast, like, I want to get rid of the rotting generation ship. Like, I wish there was an easy way to get rid of the rotting generation ship, which I don't know how many times that sentence has been said ever, but...
People are usually looking for hard ways to get rid of rotting generational ships.
Like, I know it's slowly just kind of decaying itself, but I just wish we could...
Yeah.
I think it would take a lot of disintegrates.
Yes.
Yeah. The other thing that I was just thinking of, we broke most of the stuff in the cave, but that machine that just endlessly makes Ugathakras is still there too. Which, like, we don't really have to worry about that anymore, but in terms of, like, anybody else who ever wants to go to this valley, like, that's kind of, ugh. Though maybe that'll run out of power juice or something without people to maintain it, since we did kill all of the Dominion ones other than the one that got away.
We didn't leave anything in there that we wouldn't want certain scavengers from Starfall to pick up, right? Pretty much took everything that relates to the Julius.
I think we took everything, yes. Oh, that reminds me. And Alwyn is going to pull out that purple stone and roll a spellcraft on that, because I completely forgot about that dumb thing, but it's probably something good. So that is a 16 on the die for a 38.
Making me scroll up. I believe that is plenty to identify. That is a pale lavender Ioun stone.
I was going to guess Ioun stone.
Off the top of my head, I don't know what a pale lavender Ioun stone does.
Oh, crazy. Wow, that's interesting.
Pale lavender ellipsoid, Ioun stone. The stone absorbs spells of 4th level or lower. After absorbing 20 spell levels, the stone burns out and turns a dull gray, forever useless. Stone works like a rod of absorption, but absorbing a spell requires a readied action and cannot be used to empower spells.
Oh.
So basically, while it's floating around you, you can ready an action to absorb a spell, but once it's absorbed 20 levels worth of spells, it turns into a useless one.
Strong argument. Oh, sorry.
It has actually already absorbed 5 spell.
Okay, so 15.
Strong argument for putting that either on Kira or Alwyn, because Confusion is like a level 4 spell. And like if you know that's coming, you can just ready that to... just because, I mean, especially, I don't know. That's my thought on it. I don't know what other people think.
Yeah, I kind of wish it was passive.
Yeah, I mean, it's not awesome, but I mean, again, in an instance like that, it's still...
Yeah.
Counterspelling and everything that sort of relates to that is usually pretty crappy in this game.
Yeah, it's very clumsy.
Oh, does Kira want it?
Kira is indifferent. Izzy does not want anything else. It's so confusing.
Yeah, basically, if you think someone's going to cast a spell at you, instead of taking your action, you can say you're going to ready to absorb it, and then it sucks the spell up and eats it.
So if Brixby explains what this thing does, or I'm sorry, Alwyn explains what this thing does, Kira will say, I mean, it sounds cool, but I've got a lot of hit points, so I can take some spells. Oh, I guess except for that confusion one, then that's bad. Yeah, can I have it?
And he will pass it over, and it'll, I guess, start orbiting around Kira.
Okay, now I need
Joining
to add this
the
to my
chainsaw one, and I think you have another one too, right?
Yeah, we all have that.
full of stones.
That one.
So many
Yeah.
rocks.
Dusty Rose.
Oh yeah, the what you call it one? Yeah, oh yeah, because I have one of those too. The one that increases your
And it by one.
speed. Yeah, initiative. That's what I'm looking for.
So many floating rocks.
So many
in this
Ioun
party.
stones.
Yeah,
We
there's
orbit
actually a
with
class. It's a subclass of kineticist that you just surround yourself with Ioun stones and throw them at people, and it's a useless garbage class because they forgot to write into it the ability of the Ioun stones to not break when they hit things.
Well, they all can't be winners.
So unless your GM is willing to waive the raw of it, you damage your stones every time you use them.
So, Jeff, if you are in the market for a new animal companion and we are already at Pater's, I want to remind you of the thing that I just dropped inside of General, the attack of killer tomatoes. I'm sure you can get a tomato animal companion with teeth.
Tempting.
Oh, those are big tomatoes. I thought they were pumpkins.
The killer.
Murder tomatoes. Mermaids.
Yeah, that's a weird movie.
A very weird movie and show.
It's a
Oh, that's
show.
right. There was a cartoon too.
There was
I
an
forgot
animated
about the cartoon. Yes.
Man, I gotta say, you guys are a weird bastion of knowledge. I learn so much on this show every week.
The killer tomatoes. I still remember that song from that movie.
I just never understood why the one tomato that was furry and was like a dog. How is a tomato furry?
It's got those horn, what are those called? The big caterpillars that eat tomatoes.
Oh, the hornworm caterpillars?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those are fuzzy.
Fuzz.
Are they?
Aren't they just green?
Yeah, I think they're just green. Dang it. Cut that out.
They're blue, aren't they?
Welcome to our Caterpillar cast.
I know because I bought one for my lizard before for her birthday.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, they're just green. Anyway, we're playing a show.
I believe before we got diverted, you were trying to decide if it was time to chase the Ythalgad or let it go for the time being.
I really, really, really want to kill that thing, but if Tarazi says no, then we should stay here.
I think I agree with Tarazi. It's definitely much weaker than it would be if we fought it later, but so are we, and there's a lot of other dangerous things in this valley. I think we need to rest. We killed all of its companions, so even if it heals, it doesn't have any backup if we run into it later.
Yes, if it wants to track us down, we can give it one heck of a fight. But we are rather diminished right now.
We should. He kind of puts his hand on Tarazi's hip area, and then he dips, I dip, you dip. Like the song from the 90s.
Your
But he
hand
puts his
up
hand
on
up.
my hip.
I don't know if you want to do a full service. Do you need time for yourself? What can we do for you?
I don't want anything formal, just to bury him and to grieve. He was a good friend, but he deserves his rest.
Do you think he would like to be buried by a tree, maybe near a view?
Tree sounds nice. I think he'd like that. He was a climber.
Feels right to inter him into the place that has the most amount of hope here, and under the stewardship of Pater, to be part of the changing of this land like he already was through his deeds.
I'll see to it that he becomes a valuable part of this place. Nothing will be wasted.
Should we start preparing? Tarazi, how do you want to do this?
He has no bones, so we could just kind of
Fold him up.
So it doesn't matter what shape the hole is.
coil him around.
Pull him up like a flute by the foot.
I was thinking more like a snake.
I think
Roll him
there's
like a snake.
plenty of hands to dig, and Pater certainly
Yeah,
has
no.
that kind of stuff. He's a gardener, and he'll help out digging a nice deep grave under a tree.
I think Tarazi is pretty quiet through the whole process. I think he's still sort of in shock, despite now that the especially now the adrenaline of chasing after this Ythalgad is gone. He's exhausted physically, emotionally.
I think Kira's sort of just quietly crying the whole time, like not to make a scene of things, but just like a quiet sniffle, but digging still.
I think, once, by the time the job is done, because it's a big hole, it's getting dark again, and everybody's exhausted, as it was a rough day. It was probably a pretty quiet affair digging a grave for the third evening in a row, but eventually you get the big old goopy boy down in the ground where you can feed the garden for years to come.
We should still do watches tonight. I mean, goes without saying, but probably not the only one that's considering the weakened state of our enemy.
Brix, do you want to take first watch?
Yes, please. I like to sleep uninterrupted because I'm a princess. And he does canonically, always sleep with, a robe and an eye cover and a bunch of other sleep accoutrements, so.
And a single pea under his mattresses.
That he uses to cast acid fog.
And then freezes those peas into a dust.
I think Brixby will, for his watch, just sort of try to think about all of the good memories that he has with Levi, and that all that he's seen him accomplish, and how thankful he was and is for him.
Why don't you roll a percepti-do?
Roll this, show me how sincere you are about feeling bad. 31.
It seems pretty quiet here. There's almost, the vibes are a little bit different in the valley. It's still an awful place, but things seem to have sort of shifted ever so slightly in a way that's hard to put your finger. But it's quiet.
He'll wake up Kira?
Yes, please.
Hey, you maybe see this during your watch. This place sucks a little less. Took me a little while to notice it, but just kind of hang out and look around. Licks his finger and puts it up in the air. Just less suck in the wind.
And
good night.
Kira smiles and laughs a little. It doesn't quite. It's not a real laugh, but it's enough. And I think Kira during her watch will, as she has the last several nights, go about writing. But this time, if you zoom in on the little paper, it says "Dear Levi" instead of "Dear Mom." And we will see what that says in a later intro. Oh, and I should roll.
No, you automatically fail because you're right.
That's perception, right? Of course, it's perception. I know how to play this game. Let's see. 46?
Yeah, despite the distraction of
36.
writing
Sorry, I should be honest. No, 46. No. Yes, 36. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's cut all that out.
Well, Kira is laser focused or pretty focused or laser focused or pretty focused. And
No, it's 46. Sorry.
sure.
I was going to say 46 sounds more
I forgot
right
about the
because
extra
you have an
10.
item that adds plus 20 to your roll.
Yeah, I forgot about that. My bad.
Yeah, anyway, she doesn't see anything. It's safe.
Okay. Kira will wake up. I feel like Tarazi should. Nope, Tarazi. Kira will wake up Tarazi and be like, "Hey, I'm sorry, and I know that apologies don't make a difference, and I'm sorry."
Tarazi will look up at Kira and kind of force a half smile. Say, it's all right. Get some sleep. And he gets a 35 perception.
That's much the same as the others. It seems activity is at a all-time low in the Scar of the Spider tonight. A little bit cold, but not too bad.
Yeah, when it's been about that time, he'll go and nudge Alwyn awake.
Alwyn will get up and say, "Thank you, Tarazi, and I'm sorry again about what happened, but, well, I'm just sorry." And he'll go and sit his watch. Wow, that's actually not a terrible roll. So that was a 19 on the die. Perception is showing a -3. Do I still have something on me? Oh, I still have my wisdom drain. So that is a 16.
So a bunch of mimes come through 65 feet away from Alwyn, and they do a whole show, and it's actually like really impressive, but Alwyn doesn't see it because it's just beyond where
5 feet past his, yeah.
and it's silent, so he didn't even know what happened. But other than that,
But it's really cool.
yeah, it was like,
Cirque du Soleil of mines.
Like a Jabberwocky dance routine.
yeah, it makes you reconsider everything that you think you know about mimes, but
Or it
Not
would if you
Alwyn.
could see it.
it would. But other than that, nothing of note happens. The last few hours pass, and morning comes over the Scar of the Spider.
Above the table, how long have we been here? Like 2 weeks? Sorry.
In the Scar of the Spider, this is day 10.
Okay. I was just Kira's sleeping in late with her headphones on, being moody. Not I killed my friend moody, just regular teenage moody. With a little sprinkle of I killed my friend. As a treat.
Just a light guilt.
A light guilting.
And Alwyn will take care of anybody's drain that they still have now that he's got spell slots again, which I don't know if anybody else besides me still has drain.
Yeah, I just have a little bit of con damage. I healed one overnight, but I just have 2.
Okay.
That-
That's a good one because that one I can use lesser rest on and not spend money. Let me see if I need to do 1 or 2 casts. Oh, that's a 2 on the die, so just 1 casting will get rid of that.
Thank you.
I know I ask this every time. How many points do you heal overnight?
Isn't it like your level?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
Takes
like
your
HP?
level, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 hit points, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you also would have got the healing that I did after the fight and your however many rounds of rage you had left of the day of your
Oh, yeah.
and actually I also would have had a ton of because I had 6 level 1 spell slots left, and I could have used I don't know how many of the other ones because I already reset my stuff for the day, but I could have used more sorcerer spells to cast healing, so I could have got us up to full before we went to sleep.
Well,
Because I don't think any of us were down that much.
Kira's down about 50, but that's plenty. Kira can hear that. I love the idea that Kira just spends
That was
her...
even after like the 70 that I healed you at the staff.
Yeah,
or
because I
however much that
I was
Oh, wow.
raging, so all of those were fake hit points. But I really like the
Oh.
idea that Kira uses her rounds of rage just to sit there and be like, God, I'm so mad, while healing. So I'm gonna say that's what happened.
Big chunk of the time when she was sitting watch, she was just really, really angrily sitting watch.
Oh, I'm so mad right now.
And did anybody else have any drain? I thought somebody else still had drain, but
1 charisma drain, which is not something I'm super worried about.
yeah, but it doesn't go away on its own like damage does. So
No.
while I know it's a day, we're not probably going to do anything. I'll cast it.
All right. I'm not going to stop you from it. I just would be fine at level 17 still having this 1 charisma drain.
Alwyn, could you cast that spell you cast on me yesterday? I'm gonna try. And then he casts Fox's Cunning on himself with a little bit of that dung that he held on to.
A scat.
And Alwyn will cast guidance and give him that +1.
And I have 1 sky metal, right?
Is that right?
I feel like Zach perpetually has one sky
Say,
metal.
Yeah.
We don't do those in this show.
I like how you say that. You said that right as I clicked to the thing and saw your name had like a cross.
Jeff spent his Sky Metal. Unfortunately, my Sky Metal tracking method is confusing me, so I'm not sure if you have 1 or
Yeah.
2.
I think I have 1. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I only have 1 because I'm pretty sure I used 1 and then got 1 like right after. Yes.
I just think it's funny that Jeff is like fully crossed out instead of just the 1 switched to a 0.
So, as everyone that heard that, yes, I rolled a 14 off the die plus the 8 beats the DC 18 flat intelligence check with a 22. So I am 1 day away from this, and I really wanted to save my sky metal for the last roll. So, yay! God, this is gonna be the thing I roll a 1 on. I can't even put that energy out there, but like,
Don't, yeah.
you would think that something that you could do every day would just blow by in a campaign, and I guess if we like take a week, it actually wouldn't be that bad. But I mean, when we're doing the entire Scar of the Spider in less than a fortnight, it's like, yeah. I did not use the Sky Metal. No, that's a plus. I have a +6 int normally, but I cast Fox's Cunning for an additional 1, and then 1 came from guidance. Yeah,
Yeah.
the competence bonus.
I just was too caught up in retyping the Sky Metal tracker to listen to whether or not you used the Sky Metal.
I literally thought that I was about to, because the VTT die made it seem like it. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that one. Provided that I'm alive tomorrow morning, I will use it then.
DC 19 for that last one?
20. DC 20 goes up by
DC
2
20.
each time.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's no gimme.
it's not easy.
What's that song that they play in the morning time in cartoons? It's like da 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 da.
Oh, I should know what that's called because I had to look that up to use that in a thing before.
I'm getting Blue Janube, but I know that's not it.
No, it's by the same dude that does in the Halls of the Mountain King.
They play in the morning. That song that plays in the morning, it's
I know exactly what song you're talking about too.
Yeah.
Like I can hear it in my the lilting no 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 no.
Edward Grieg's Edvard Grieg's morning.
It's literally just
mood.
called Morning. Yeah, it's by Edward Grieg because he's the same guy that does In the Hall of the Mountain King, which is the other one that you hear all the time. It says a dun 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 dun.
Wow, that dude was in his bag when he started writing music.
Yeah, that's how I knew to look it up because I looked up that song to get the name and then looked up him in Morning Song, and it's literally just called Morning.
Thank you for tuning into the Grieg cast, where we freeg for Grieg.
Grieg for
That is his
Grieg.
last name. Freeg for Grieg. Yeah. Well, gang, we have a couple different things that we discussed on the agenda. We could go see Binox. We could make further overtures at the Julius ourselves, see if there's something else that we could do, including, we'd need Binox to even reunite the body and because we can't just tape it to it like an iPad.
Maybe if we
She's
moosh
also like
them
missing
together.
the top of her head.
Just kind of hit one with the other.
Yes.
It's
as
like
hard as you
how
can.
you airdrop. Just doop. You people don't use Apple.
I have a very old iPhone.
I also have a very old iPhone.
I don't think we should chase today. I think we already made that decision, but we have no idea where it could have gone, and I don't really feel like ranging. It's the best use of our time. However, I could be convinced otherwise.
I think Kira once again looks at Tarazi and is like, Tarazi, what do you want to do?
I don't have the magical means to make technology whole. If one of you two, and he looks at Brixby and Alwyn, can spare the attempt, and it's as simple as that, then we can avoid Binox, who may well have forgotten anything about us and engage us with hostility.
I have regular make hole. I don't know.
Nickel grader.
I was gonna say I don't have grader.
Yeah, I think we talked about this when we were talking about Binox's pillars.
Would the knowledge engineering that Brix had rolled, like 48, be enough to know whether this is something that would actually fix it, or is that something we won't know until we try?
I think that you can fairly confidently say that due to the complexity of this item, make whole is probably not going to do it. Even greater.
Makes sense.
And that's kind of a hit point damage thing, and you're talking about an artifact.
Yeah, isn't there like a? I feel like there's
Memory of
like a
function.
specific spell that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one's way up there. Memory of functions.
Yeah, it's like level 8 or
spell.
9 or
I
something.
think
Yeah,
It's
because it's the only thing that works on time worn stuff, so it's super crazy high.
I mean, it can't hurt. Well, actually, it could very possibly hurt to go see Binox, so I should rephrase that. But it wouldn't be a terrible use of our time.
We know he can be dangerous, but... And he kind of looks around at everybody. I don't think he's any more dangerous than anything we fought in the last couple days. if he does try to attack us, I think we could beat him without too much trouble.
And if he's lucid at all, this is his valley, air quote, having defeated the Dominion and the Mi-Go, perhaps he'll be accommodating even more so.
That's a good point.
Maybe if we're just really, really nice to him and bring him some sort of electronic treat, we can get in okay.
Eat silver discs.
Take this flashlight. We don't have the flash. Also, it's light.
If not, I'll just cut him in half with the no blade. That works too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Then we'll really need Gray to make whole.
All right. So, do y'all want to walk there? It's like a beautiful day. Do we want to risk a whole teleport?
Let's get our steps in.
All right.
Yeah, let's walk.
Scooting your way over, but for the first time in a long time, how do you get across the river?
Oh, we can't ride the snake.
Oh, how sad.
Can Bricks take people one at a time with his,
I can cast
thing?
fly on somebody.
I've
and
got a
they can
plus
just-
6
Oh, I
to
can
swim.
also cast fly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll cast fly on Kira, and Kira can carry Alwyn. I can disc.
We all look sadly back at Tarazi.
No, he can just, assuming the river isn't moving too briskly, a take 10 would be a 16. He can.
Yeah, it's not
Skip
rapid,
doodle.
so he can sploosh his way across.
Dang.
Should have made Binox write an affidavit of friendship that we could present to him later.
It takes a little bit of time to find your way back to Binox just because of, it's big valley, but you know the way. You've been there a couple times. I have popped you back to the machine cave map.
I think, before they go in, Kira kind of pauses here for a second, just remembering Asuma and then Levi and then all the people that they've lost and sighs, and then keeps going.
Well, I probably shouldn't have to mention it. I did cast my morning spells, of course. But I'm not casting shield
I
just
kicked
yet.
on mage armor, but I forgot to tick off the slot being used. There we go.
Mage armor and the disc.
And you scoot your way through the caves once more, where the little murder bots were and the weird mannequins were. It looks like Binox has fashioned together several mannequins and torture robots all into one horrible amalgamation that can barely move. And it just kind of meekly flaps a razor blade at you from the corner, but it can't actually do anything. Trash too much of his stuff, is what I'm saying.
No. Well, I'm sure that won't affect our relationship with him at all.
No. Come on.
And you switch into the mechanical version of the cave that he has converted into his facility, past that weird, incoherent artwork on the floor, into the lair of the strange robot with all the tool arms and stuff, who, he suddenly throws all his arms up in the air, and he says, "What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Hello, Binox.
How do you know the name of Binox?
We've met
We
before.
met you a little over a week ago.
Binox would know if we had met a week before. Week before, week.
When did we meet Binox? Let's see. We met him on the 4th. It is currently the 10th. So yeah, a little over a week.
We gave you some really
Or no,
cool stuff.
1 day less than a week. Yes, we traded some technological items with you. I'm sure you remember that, right?
Friend Brimplebim.
And if his little glowing red light eyes could narrow, they would totally be narrowing. Can you get a diplomacy roll?
I'll try to aid, because this is...
I will also try to aid.
That is a 10 on the die. The 25 before the aids.
I do aid.
Not me.
So Kira aids, so that's a +1 or a +2?
Two.
What is it in
2.
1E? +2. Okay, so that is a 27.
Oh, he's silent for a long second, staring at Alwyn. And of course, there's no face to read here because it's just some lights on a weird black helmet thing. And then suddenly all its arms go up in the air. at once, and it says, "Of course! It's my friends, Timbydidins and Braxton Shirks, Kevin and Floppy. I would know you always. Good to see you again. We know each other so very well."
I'm glad you remembered.
Of course I remembered. I remember all. I am the great Binox.
Do you want a sticker? Do you know what stickers are?
Binox knows all about stickers. I think Binox produces from a weird cabinet like panel inside its body, just like a sticker that is just weird space squiggles on it, and holds it up. It says, "You can have a sticker if you give me a sticker."
And Kira will pull out a sticker that says "Good Robot" and hand it to Binox.
And
Covered in cobwebs because it's never been used before in the area.
And Binox hands you the sticker that's really just like a weird space scribble. But all the lines are very straight because it was done by a robot.
Kira puts it on the flat of the chainsaw. Chainsaws have flats? I think they do, right? They've got a little metal part and then
There's a middle spot. Yeah.
Thanks, Binox.
Now-
I envision you have like scary teeth kind of drawn on yours a little bit, like the little.
And mean eyes with little slanty eyebrows.
Like the shark face kind of thing.
Basically.
But it's a chihuahua face.
Naturally.
Now we are
Do we
sticker
wanna-
twins.
We've picked up some more tech stuff. I don't know if we want to try to barter with him or if we just want to ask him if he thinks he can fix. I don't know if he'd.
He remembers us.
If
we
we
can
wanna-
try the.
Yeah. Because I'm worried if we just go, "Hey, can you fix this robot for us?" He's going to go, "No, I don't want to do that." But if we offer him some cybernetic eyes, maybe he will. But yeah, I guess Alwyn will say, the last time we were here, you showed us your incredible inventions, like the creature that we passed out in front, and talked about how you're such a great engineer and inventor. And that made us wonder if you can help us fix something. And he'll kind of nod towards Bricks, who I'm assuming is carrying the Cassandra thing.
Yeah, I have to keep it in a lanyard that I keep around my neck, otherwise I'll lose it. So,
Also, the font is really huge on there because, those are not prescription VMods that he wears. Vanity.
So I think the Binox looks at this thing and he'll take it from Brixby with a little claw hand and pick it up and flip it around, and it's still doing the thing where she appears for a few seconds and makes some noise that's not really coherent and then disappears again. And now Binox is going to roll in knowledge engineering on this thing.
Can we aid?
Yeah, you could aid him.
I auto aid.
Same.
Is an 18. So that's an 8.
And Kira just cheers in the background.
Oh wait, 1 8 you just need a 10 to aid, don't you?
Yeah.
So I auto aid. That's right. Because I put a point in engineering myself.
All right. Well, with 3 aids and his absurd modifier and his special ability to work on machines that otherwise can't really be fixed because that's what he's built to do. He says, Of course, my dear friends, Tipsy, Clinkles, Wamsy, and Bert. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Then he flips a switch on the side and then flips it back on. And then, the thing, it goes black. And then a second later, boop, comes back on, boots up, and there is the face of Cassandra Lee. Actually there and coherent and awake. And she's looking at you and she says, I thank you for freeing me, for bringing me back. Thank you. She's of course speaking Androvan. No, actually she's speaking common and she knows common.
I think Kira just blurts, "You're Asher's friend." And he doesn't know.
I don't think I know an Asher. And she'll like disappear for a second and then reappear and say, "No, we don't know an Asher. We don't know him."
But he knows you. He had a thing for you. I mean, like an item for you.
Do we have the note still? Did we keep that or did we leave that with Asher?
I thought Bricks kept it. No?
I feel like one of us would have kept the note, right?
I think we kept the note. I do not have that
I'm
in
like
my notes.
98% sure we kept the note. I just don't remember who. I thought it was Bricks.
Because I feel like that was too important to...
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was part of the conversation about the stuff that we carried on for him. Like, that was one of the things.
Yeah, because that was part of his mission. We wouldn't have left that, yeah.
Hey, how about we give our friend something to express our pleasure and maybe grab some air a little bit? I'm actually having a lot of trouble being inside a cave right now, and that's not because your home isn't wonderful, bye-bye, but it's, I just need to see the sky a little bit.
More than welcome to roll a sense motive on whatever else I am trying to say there, but...
Let me see what his sense motive is. Probably non-existent. He literally doesn't have one. He rolls at a -4. He got a 4.
Amazing.
Well, he was not able to pick up what I was laying down. But yeah, no, Brixby's basically just insinuating, like, this isn't because he doesn't trust Binox, but every person that learns something from this entire journey has become a target. I don't want Binox to have information that someone could take from them. I don't want to put Binox in that position.
Yeah. Especially since we already know that the Technic League has been sniffing around in this valley.
Yeah, and this seems like the first place they would go. And I mean, the fact...
And they would have the ability, they could kill him and still upload his stuff because they have the kind of tech to do that.
Yeah. Do we have something nice to give them that isn't...
Let me look at our loot. So we have...
I know we have all those stuff.
As far as... We have cybernetic eyes, we have a skill slot, we have a Mark IV acrobatic skill chip, we have a cyber arm. That's our most recent stuff that's tech. And I think we should have more tech stuff because we haven't been able to go back to what you're calling in a little while to sell any tech things. So let me scroll up higher. Blue goggles, which I'm assuming are another type of what you're calling. Oh, those might be the ones Curious using. This is pretty far back up.
Yeah. I mean, I think we just have... I don't think we gave them the time-worn sonic pistols. We might have.
Yeah.
But if we didn't...
I'm just the empty rocket launcher.
Yeah. I was more just thinking about giving them something like a just jangle of the keys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Skill slot with a Mark III acrobatics chip. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure those sonic pistols still exist. So let's just toss those two time-worn sonic pistols at him in the interest of expediency.
Mm-hmm.
For Kira's platter.
Kira says thank you.
So we're just going to go grab some air and whatnot. Oh, no, I can't go through the wall.
Yes, I thank you for this fitting tribute, my dear friends. I will see you again very soon, I assume.
It was nice seeing you again.
Have fun with your air.
Like, should we just leave that... What was that technological item that allows us to record ourselves? Let's just, like, leave it there with the word friend written under it.
Yeah.
Oh, the hologram projector or something?
Yeah, the hologram projector.
So he wakes up the next day and he's like, incursion! Tries to attack
that we got from that, like, hole outside the...
It was
what you call it? Iden Bay. Yeah.
When we met... Kaido? What was his name? The guy.
God, what was his name?
He was not an invisible. Not an invisible stalker. He was something else, right?
Sahasho.
No,
Sahasho.
Yeah, Shahasho. I think he was an invisible stalker.
He was an invisible stalker. Yeah. The difference between because I was thinking of faceless stalker. He was an invisible. Yeah, the thing that looks more like an air elemental or nothing at all. Okay, so. When we're outside in the full light of the sun, which is the best place to use your phone, we pull it out.
How many nits does this go up to? What's the brightness?
It's got decent brightness. It's got good contrast. The blacks are stunning.
We should have
So
had him
deep.
look at the android body, too, to see if we can do anything with that.
I wanted to ask.
I just...
Sorry.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask her if she wanted the body in the first place, because we just
Yeah.
don't know anything about Cassandra Lee's
Yeah.
current vibe.
I'm still confused how she was even in the body when Sam said like that they don't have. Well, she'll know that, and I keep interrupting us. Sorry. Push forward.
So we open her up again while we pop this. I don't know. Hit the side button, the unlock, do the pattern.
Wakes it up.
Sorry.
That was jarring. That you should warn me before you just bloop it off like that. It's weird.
I didn't mean to be rude, but you understand that while we are very happy to have found you and have been endeavoring to do so for a very long time, that your very existence also brings danger to those who know of who you are from, well, I think you know from who and from what.
So you know who I am, or who I was. I'm
You
not
are.
sure.
You are a tote. I mean, you are Cassandra Lee. You forked off from her at a time, but you are a fully unique and self-contained Cassandra Lee. So, yes, you are to consolidate your identity. You can refer to yourself as Cassandra Lee, and we know who you are. We have, well, as Kira said, we have this note that our friend was carrying to give to you. Feels like so long ago. And I guess he'll pull it out and maybe hand it to Kira to read, because, I'm just going to keep going with he has terrible eyesight thing. The font size on the phone is like 30.
So yeah, Kira will hold up the note and says, it says, the mountains hold no answers for you. Turn back now. Only death awaits you there. I'm sorry we didn't get this to you sooner.
I'm sorry as well. And on the image, there's a tear running down her face. Brother Barrick was right. I should have listened to him, but it's far too late now. But if you all know who I am, or who I was, or who I am / was, then you must know of the terrible danger under the Silver Mount. You have rescued me from my prisonership here with those horrible creatures, but there is a monstrous force that I was hiding from to begin with beneath the mountain. It must be stopped before it can escape, before it can free itself.
What is it? What is this? Oh, I wanted to say it's not divinity. What's the
Unity.
I'm blanked out. I'm like, no, divinity was the other thing. What is this unity? What is it, and why is it so dangerous?
Unity is an artificial intelligence, I suppose, not so different from me now, except that it has lived in that wreck beneath that mountain with computers of unfathomable power at its disposal for thousands of years, and what it has become is not unlike a god, a monstrous, tyrannical, hateful god.
I would say that honestly doesn't sound that much different than a lot of the other gods around here.
And we've seen specifically these intelligences take form and attempt to wreak vengeance. Hellion, as it was calling itself, was the first we put down.
I am afraid Hellion was only a tiny fragment of what Unity is. I once worshipped it as a god. I believed it to be a benevolent, all-powerful being, and I do not believe either of those things now, but if it can free itself from the shell that contains it, it may be able to become something greater. I must destroy it. Can you help me?
What do you need us to do?
I need you to descend into the Silver Mountain. I can show you where to go. I can show you how I can help you, but
It is a monstrous power. I do not even know if it can be destroyed.
When we started walking this path, we didn't ask ourselves if we thought we could destroy anything. We just walked because we needed to, and that served us well. Sure, some of us have fallen. I've died, but we're not stopping now.
Locks eyes with Tarazi.
Can't go back now. Do you want your body?
And she looks a little confused by the question.
We recovered this.
And then pull it out of the bag.
I don't know if this is just a form you assumed at one time, or if this was a form that you took after the fork, something that you yourself never occupied. But this was Cassandra Lee at one time.
And she looks at the body, and and she's still crying. She says, "She was me. She was me, and she was 112 people before she was me. She or we downloaded me into this because Unity's fingers were reaching out after us. We didn't think that we could escape. We thought perhaps if we could hide a copy, but I guess one of us made it out and the other one didn't. So the plan worked."
I see. You think these android would be in danger of Unity's influence, where you're, for lack of a better term, air-gapped.
I think that body is just a body now. It's of no use to me, and probably, given the state of the brain, of no use to Unity either.
This is probably pretty awkward, but we're going to put it back into the bag because I don't think we should just leave it with Binox. So showing someone their corpse and then putting it back into a bag furtively is a little weird. But
And I think at this time, with the party finally united with a living version of Cassandra Lee in a tablet and tasked with the mission of going into the Silver Mountain that towers over Starfall, I'm going to bed.
Good night, Sam.
I really wanted you to say that was the end of the book.
Well, I mean, it is the end of the book.
Yay!
Yeah, you finished book 4.
hey. Good night,
Good night,
book
book
4.
Good night,
Uh,
book 4.
Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Good night,
Also
book
good night,
4.
Sam.
Good night, Sarah Lee.
File.
Really, nobody does it like you.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
New Audacity window. Almost book 5 waveforms.
Ambiguous liminal space between books.
Yes.
Waveforms.
How long could this take?
Mechanically, waveforms, it's tough. Tarazi needs, what is it, like a week to get a new companion?
Is it a week?
Beach episode.
Yeah.
I'll say there is an interesting thing I saw in the text that depending on the location you're in, you can occasionally get stuff that isn't normally on the. So I'm like, if we just spend the whole week here, we can get like some kind of horrible.
I thought about that.
Eldritch monstrosity.
A frog
You can get
behemoth.
like one of those tree monsters or something.
Nothing
following
like having your
around.
favored enemy also be your animal companion.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
aberrations
riding
need love
around
too.
on a Colorado space.
Have we been playing this book over a year?
Yeah, we are. That was the 53rd episode of the book. So yeah, we just crossed over a year on book 4.
Jeez.
Wow.
So I guess that means we've been releasing it for a year.
Right.
Because we record 2, though actually with the number of breaks we've taken, you're right, we probably have absolutely also been recording it for over a year.
Yeah, we started
Let's see, looks
recording
like
this December of 2023.
12/27. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I was so young. Actually, no, I was 1 year younger because it was December 27th. Boop. Gloop the doop.
To knock the nose off my face.
Yeah.
Clap that
Get
nose.
rid of that nose. I can say bad words. That nose. Haha, we're not recording.
Swear forms.
1,
Swear forms. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
It's just that, like, you've been talking about the Orange Julius for like 30 episodes, and every time it comes up, I think of this one sketch with Sylvester Stallone talking about how he used to work at the Orange Julius and now he sells complicated computers. And I can't get it out of him.
Computers.
That's a good sketch.